Qwen 2.5 Max versus DeepSeek. Which one wins? Today we're going to be testing out both AI models because there's a brand new release from Qwen, which is Qwen 2.5. We can get free access to it today, and I'll be running side by side DeepSeek versus Qwen 2.5 to see which one performs the best. Now, if you want to compare the benchmarks right here, we've got them lined up. You can see here that Qwen 2.5 Max is actually beating DeepSeek version 3 in many of the benchmarks. Now, this does not compare DeepSeek R1 because R1 is more of a reasoning model, but we'll be testing out DeepSeek version 3 versus Qwen 2.5 Max and seeing which one comes out on top today. It's going to be pretty interesting stuff. Now, one of the best things about Qwen 2.5 Max, as you can see right here, so you just go to chat.lm.ai and then select Max in the top left here, is that you can actually switch between different modes. So it can create images, it can code, it can make plans, it can generate videos and even images, which DeepSeek currently cannot. So for example, we're going to unclick DeepSeek R1 because we're not testing that model today, we're testing DeepSeek version 3. Maybe we'll look at them later on, but basically we're using DeepSeek version 3 versus Qwen 2.5 Max. They're the most comparable models, and we'll see which one performs the best. So let's kick it off and see what we got here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to test out content writers. So I'm going to say create an SEO optimized article for this, and we'll put DeepSeek versus Qwen 2.5 Max. We'll delete that. We've given it a bunch of instructions for creating the content, and additionally, I'm just going to insert some relevant personalized information about us. Now, we'll be comparing the exact same prompt inside DeepSeek version 3 versus Qwen 2.5 Max. So let's hit go on both of these. Here we go. And what we can do is pull these up side by side. So let me do that for you. So Qwen 2.5 Max is over here and DeepSeek version 3 is over here. Now, if I had to compare them side by side, I'm looking at the titles, DeepSeek versus Qwen 2.5 Max. They've both front-loaded the keyword. However, I would say the actual writing is far better on Qwen 2.5 Max. And look at this, right? So if we look at this teaser here, it says, let's break it down in a way that's easy to understand, conversational, straight to the point. It feels weird. Like, why would you even explain that? You just get straight to it. Whereas, for example, if we look at someone who's been in the trenches of SEO and AI for years, I know how overwhelming it can feel to pick the right tool. So let's break it down together. No fluff, no jargon, just straight talk. Both of those are probably not as good as Claude 3.5 Sonnet when it comes to writing, but I would say Qwen 2.5 Max has the edge. Now, the other thing I like about this is inside Qwen, it kind of has this canvas feature where you can select the content and then you can ask it or explain it to do different things. Whereas inside the editor for DeepSeek, you can't do that. You can't edit it like a canvas operation, right? So for example, if we select that, there's no like ask or edit option. So if we click on this, then we click ask, and we'll just say, make it shorter. This is kind of like ChatGPT Canvases feature, where it's rewritten that section of the content, and we've got a better version right there. So it's easier to edit the content inside Qwen 2.5 Max as well. Very impressive. Honestly, for test number 1, content creation, Qwen 2.5 Max is outperforming DeepSeek version 3 by a long way right there. Even if you look at the first line, right, let's cut to the chase versus, hey, is Julian Goldie here? No one cares if Julian Goldie is here or not. If you're going to write an article, you want something to get straight into it, right? So now we're going to test the artifacts feature inside both. So we'll start a new chat for both of them. And I'm going to select artifacts right here. And we're going to say, create a Space Invaders game. And we'll do the same inside Qwen 2.5 Max. And we'll test the coding capabilities. Now, if you were using DeepSeek normally, you probably wouldn't be using DeepSeek version 3 for a coding task like this. Instead, you would select DeepSeek R1. But to make it a fair test and compare the most relevant models together, we're going to stick with DeepSeek version 3 and Qwen 2.5 Max. Now, the first thing you're going to know is that this is writing it in Python, whereas this is written in HTML. What does that mean? What that means essentially is it's going to be much easier to preview the game inside Qwen 2.5 Max than it is inside DeepSeek. So, for example, you can't run or preview Python code inside the chat of DeepSeek version 3, right? And so how do we know if it's good? Well, we'd have to click away, we'd have to go off, we'd have to test it, run it on terminal, etc. A lot of messing around there if you're not someone who's good at coding, like me. I don't have any coding experience. But if you go over to Qwen 2.5 Max, we've got the preview ready to go on the right-hand side. Over here, we can click on artifacts. That's going to load the game and play the game just as you can see right here in literally one prompt, right? Pretty mind-blowing that you can do that. And so Qwen 2.5 Max on coding as well is winning too. So all we literally did was say create a Space Invaders game. It created it. We can preview it in artifacts. and it actually works. Boom shakalaka. If we go back to DeepSeek, it's created it in Python, so I can't even check if it works inside the chat. So just for ease of use and convenience, this might work beautifully, but for ease of use, I'm going to say Qwen 2.5 Max is winning. So 2 out of 2 for Qwen 2.5 Max so far. And by the way, if you want access to DeepSeek, you just go to chat.deepseek.com. All right, so let's try another thing now. We're going to say create a beautiful SEO cost calculator website, add emojis, plenty of detail about how it works, etc. And I'm going to hit enter on that. And then inside Qwen 2.5 Max, we're going to use the same prompt, hit enter, and start coding that. Now, I will say, if you compare them side by side, you can see here the DeepSeek tends to code faster, but Qwen 2.5 Max is not messing around. It just gets straight to the code. Whereas inside, for example, DeepSeek, it's responded faster, but it's not actually coded the tool so far. Let's see if it comes up with HTML. So it's explaining the website, it's created the content, created the copy, etc. But so far, we've not had any code back, all right? And it actually hasn't created the website. It's just like written the text, written the content, but there's nothing in there that actually has a HTML. Whereas inside Qwen 2.5 Max, we have the HTML ready to go. You know, it's not messing around on the response there. It's not giving us like a fluffy BS answer. It's just like, right, let's code your tool out for you. Boom shakalaka. And it did the same with the Space Invaders option as well. Because it's specifically got an option for artifacts, it's like, right, this man right here who's prompting me, he just wants HTML. He's not messing around today. And so you can see how it just goes straight into that. So for coding apps like Space Invaders or games, Qwen 2.5 Max is winning. For creating content, Qwen 2.5 Max is winning. For creating websites, Qwen 2.5 Max is winning, my friends. And you can see that's a pretty nice option right there. So we can select between packages. Let's test this actually works. We'll put 100 keywords in there. Boom. Works perfectly. We've got a nice little explainer on how the tool works, frequently asked questions. That's exactly what we wanted, and it did it in a one-take Drake. Now let's test them out for creating content, and right? So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna say to ChatGPT, generate some generic AI fluffy content. All right, and basically what that's gonna do is just create like a super generic piece of content that we can then try and humanize. So for example, we'll just take this content, we'll copy it, we'll paste it into ZeroGPT just to make sure it is AI detectable. That's coming out at 100% AI detectable. So now what we want to test is, can DeepSeek or Qwen 2.5 Max humanize this content properly? We'll start a new chat, we'll paste this in, and the prompt I'm going to use for this, by the way, all the prompts are inside the free SEO course, link in the comments description, is humanize this so it bypasses AI detectors 100% of the time, must be 100% non-AI detectable. Now, if you use something like DeepSeek R1 or ChatGPT O1, pretty much every time you'll get 0% AI detectable inside ZeroGPT with exactly the same prompt. But let's compare DeepSeek version 3 versus Qwen 2.5 Max. Now let's test this out. I've taken the content from DeepSeek version 3, plugged it into ZeroGPT, and you can see it comes out at 94%. So that score is only dropped by 6% directly from DeepSeek version 3, which is not great. It's not ideal, let's be honest. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the content from Qwen 2.5 Max, we'll plug that in and see what it comes back at. And that is even worse, right? So Qwen 2.5 Max has underperformed versus DeepSeek version 3 for humanizing content. Now here's a little pro tip for you. If you want to humanize content, select DeepSeek R1, use exactly the same prompt, and use that to create the content. All right, so if we take this content right here that's coming back from DeepSeek R1, like you can see, we'll copy that. We'll go to ZeroGPT. Just like magic, my friends, just like magic. DeepSeek R1, 0% detectable. For the fact that DeepSeek actually has R1 built in, it's completely free, I would say it wins that test easily. So let's start a new chat now. So what DeepSeek doesn't have that Qwen 2.5 Max does have is image generation. So let's say, for example, we'll say create a picture of a cat eating biscuits, all right? And then we'll hit enter, and that is pretty fast for generating the image. You can see that's just absolutely flying through the image generation right there. Obviously, you can't compare this versus DeepSeek because DeepSeek has no image generation, but that is looking good. I did look at Janus Pro 7B, which is the DeepSeek model for image generation, and ran the same prompt yesterday. You can check out my video on YouTube. It didn't look anywhere near as good as that. That is impressive, to be fair. That's very, very good. Let's try out video generation now. So we're going to start a new chat again. We'll go to video generation. We'll put cat eating biscuitinos, and then we'll hit send a message and we'll see what's coming back. So this seems to be a lot slower. I don't seem to have a response yet. Let's see what's going to happen next. Now it seems to be responding. Obviously, it's going to take a lot more power to generate videos, right? So you can see how slow this is whilst I'm talking. We might have to come back to that in a second. Whilst we're doing that, let me open up a new tab of Qwen 2.5 Max. We'll start a new chat here. And what we're going to do now is test the search version of both, right? So both of these can do web search. What I'm going to say now is, what are today's AI headlines? And we'll plug that directly into Qwen 2.5 Max along with DeepSeek, and we'll see what we get back. Now, the Biscottino's video is still generating, so we'll come back to that in a second. And look at that. DeepSeek search service is busy. Please disable search or try again later, right? So we can't use the search feature inside DeepSeek. Qwen 2.5 Max has come back to us, and it's given us the headlines for the 28th of January, which is about 24 hours ago, but still doing pretty good there. We're on the 30th of January. This gave us headlines for January the 28th. It's okay. It's not today's headlines like we asked it for. You can see a lot of these are quite outdated. So, for example, we've got like 2024, December 17th, but it gave us a response, which we didn't get back from DeepSeek. As you can see, it struggled, too busy. It's been a crazy week, so I understand, but still, which one won the test? It's going to be Qwen 2.5 Max. So, for image generation, video generation, web search, artifacts, content creation, Qwen 2.5 Max is actually a superior model to DeepSeek version 3 from the tests that I've done today, even though my tests, you could do a lot more with these tests, but I just want to show you a quick breakdown. Absolutely amazing tool. Absolutely amazing that both of these are available for free as well. And that's mind-blowing stuff. Now, we've got the video. We're still waiting for that video, so that's going to take a little bit of time there. But the images were very impressive. Like, you could use that image inside a blog article, whatever. And the cat's absolutely loving it. So, thanks so much for watching. If you want to get a free AI SEO course along with 3,600 community members, you can ask for help and tips, along with a free AI SEO course that comes with all my best SOPs, tips, prompts, and tutorials for using AI to build out anything you want. Feel free to get that link in the comments description. And if you want to get a free one-to-one SEO strategy session that shows you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 hits this month and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales on autopilot, feel free to get this free link building acceleration session. So we'll give you a custom tailored link building plan so you can generate more leads, sales, and profits to your website. You'll discover the secrets of link building. We'll answer any questions you have one-to-one on this call. You learn the best link building strategy for your website, plus how to quickly outrank your competitors in link building, and how to 10x your SEO traffic based on what's working for us and our happy customers. Like you can see right here, feel free to get that link in the comments description. Appreciate you watching. Bye-bye.